Subsistence farming was the main occupation in Jesus' time. Probably about 80% of the people were small farmers. And small is the farms would have been 3 to 6 acres in size for a typical farm, so not very much land. You probably planted most of it in grain. Barley or wheat were the two main species. Wheat cost about twice as much as barley, so people who were the poorest of the poor ate barley bread. You ate wheat if you could afford it, or if you grew it. Mostly you didn't raise crops for sale, you raised crops to eat. And there were 7 species that were the big sort of food crops in Galilee and still are. 7 species are wheat and barley, the grains, olives, which produces olive oil, grapes, wine, then figs, dates, and pomegranates. They didn't eat much vegetables. The Romans didn't either. So vegetables were not a big thing in their diet. These villages were largely self-sufficient. A lot of things were done with bartering. They farmed often together. So planting was a village thing and harvesting was a village thing. You got together and you all harvested one person's fields and then the next person's and so on. So it was a communal event. When you seeded a field, you plowed it up. A plow was basically like a forked stick, sometimes with an implement on the end of it, but you broke the ground up, but you didn't go very deep. And then you scattered your seed over the ground, and then you plowed again, maybe dragging some sticks behind the plow to smooth out the ground. But that was the basic farm implement, was this little plow that just broke up the ground. Animals, they had chickens, no pigs obviously, because they didn't eat pigs. Sheep, some cattle, but animals were pretty expensive. So a sheep might cost a month's wages, a donkey might cost 2 or 3. So, buying a donkey was like buying a car for us. So few people had donkeys, and you didn't use animals for meat. So meat was not a big part of the diet. If a sheep costs a month's wages, you're not going to slaughter it and eat it. You're going to use it for wool and, milk and whatever else you can get from it. So same with oxen. Oxen were not raised for beef. They were raised for labor, for plowing and stuff like that. Your land was very important to you. Your land represented your family, your heritage, your honor. It had been passed down to you by your fathers and their fathers. So nobody sold the family farm to go buy a bigger one. Your land was a part of you. And your honor as a person was also in your land. So the idea of selling the farm was sort of inconceivable.